Last season, despite their subpar 7-8-1 record, the Carolina Panthers took the NFC South crown for the second season in a row. Obviously, I don't need to explain to you what that means for how weak their division is, and this season, maybe having the sixth weakest schedule in the league could play in their favor as they strive for their third division title and a shot at the playoffs. But that weak schedule is also probably why Vegas put out 8.5 wins total for their season. So let's walk through their schedule and see if it really will be easy enough to score them at least 9 wins. So really before their bye week in week 5, I only see one potential loss, which is their week 2 home opener versus the Houston Texans, but I still think that the Panthers could take that win. I mean, it's going to be their first home game, and the Texans still have a lot of question marks on their defense. Plus, the Panthers took a nice win versus the Lions in their first home game last season, and they tend to do well against teams that haven't quite found their regular season groove yet. Then right after that bye week, this is definitely the toughest part of the Panthers' schedule. They'll see a loss to the Seahawks in week 6. Seattle has won their last 5 meetings despite some very close games with the Panthers, and this is going to be a loss despite Carolina having the bye week to rest and prepare. Then they'll see yet another loss in week 7 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Chip Kelly and his high-octane offense is going to be way too much for the Panthers. Then the Panthers will also see 2 more losses at home when they play the Colts in week 8 and the Packers in week 9. Andrew Luck is a star on the rise, and the Panthers will be no problem for the shot caller and his Colts, who are predicted 4th in the rankings to win Super Bowl 50, trading at 9-1 odds. Then, of course, Green Bay will have an even tougher loss for the Panthers. Carolina will be on a short week, playing Monday to Sunday, and the Packers might be the strongest team in the league. The Dallas Cowboys will also be too tough a challenge for the Panthers in week 12. Carolina will be at Dallas on a short week, playing Sunday to Thursday, and, well, the Panthers haven't beaten the Cowboys since 2004, but maybe we'll get to see a good quarterback showdown between Cam Newton and Tony Romo. Then yet another toss-up here for the Panthers and the Saints in week 13, but this time I think the Saints will win out since they will be vying for that NFC South title. And finally, there's one divisional rival we haven't talked about yet, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. They are going to have a very different look this season with ex-Seahawks defensive coordinator Dan Quinn running the ship as head coach. And I think Atlanta takes one win off of Cam Newton and the Panthers, and I think that win will be week 16 when the Panthers have to visit the Falcons at the Georgia Dome. If it comes down to the Falcons and the Panthers for the division title, it will be too tall a task, with the newfound Falcons aiming high for the division crown and a chance at those playoffs. So count them up. We will take all of the games here, toss-ups included as losses. I'm thinking they finish between 8-8 or 9-7, putting them right around that 8.5 mark Vegas projected. And hey, the NFC South could look very different than it looked last year, and that number could sway greatly depending on how Dan Quinn does with the Falcons and how the Saints handle and figure out that defense. If you take this bet, wait until you've gotten into the season a little bit and figure out if their season schedule really is as easy as we think it will be.